guys? Welcome. Good morning to another episode. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Another episode of Bangin with Mikey, episode 117. Remember those two cats I was supposed to tell a couple weeks back? We were supposed to do the podcast actually this weekend, but schedules got conflicted and I mean we're all busy. So I ain't gonna trip on that. So it is what it is, right? So we can always reschedule. Um, Last month was Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, and a lot of information I didn't know myself. So I did some research. Not a lot. Just surface type of stuff, and it's interesting, man. How CP affects how it's the same disability, but how it can affect people in a variety of different ways, man. Me myself, it affects me a bit because of excuse me, because my hips are a little tighter, my heel cords are a little tighter, so I got to take the extra time every day to stretch out, to stretch out my heel cords, my hamstrings, and all that stuff. Because if I don't, I can literally feel my muscles and ligaments getting tight. But it's a good thing that I'm obsessed with the gym because that helps a lot. Not just with my confidence, but just overall keeping my body healthy, man. And the older I get, being physically active is extremely fucking important. I don't understand how people can't make time for fitness or their health or whatever it is, but they got time for everything else. I'm like, yo, why don't you do something that's beneficial for you? Which brings me to I do diet plans. And in reality, it's not that expensive. People just don't want to pay for it. If I did the math, give or take, I broke it down to, let's see. My diet plans would be 5 days a week, obviously with the 2 days off, because it's like unless you're competing, it doesn't make any sense for you to be dieting down as hard as we do. So, which brings me to one of my coworkers. She told me the other day. She goes, "Yeah, you know what? I couldn't do what you guys do. I don't have the self discipline." I was like, "No, you do. You just have to go find it. You have to go find something that that sparks your interest and that makes you want to keep coming back. That makes you want to keep growing in a way that's positive. Because I'm all about positive growth, man. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I'm opinionated. I'm stubborn to a point. And it's just something, but I'm also extremely loyal. I'm understanding to a point, but what I won't do, I won't sit there and enable you to, you know, if your behavior is shitty, I'm gonna tell you your behavior is shitty. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, whoop de whoop. Nah, we ain't doing all that, partner. Got niggas all the way fucked up for that. But yeah, man. It's crazy how like this podcast is slowly blowing up. And when I say slowly, my first episode was in my garage during the pandemic, and I went back and I watched some of the clips, and it was just me just talking, just like how I am now, and but it was more workout based and everything like that too, because at that particular time I was gearing up to do 3-4 shows or something like that. Yeah, I was, so I was focused on that. I was had everything planned out. I was gonna do a show in April, show in June, show in July, and wrap it up with a show I think in September. And so that, because the main goal was to get that pro card, and I wanted to get as much exposure and to be around different people as much as I could. So with that being said, I actually was gonna do a mainland show that year. I actually was gonna do two or three, and I knew where the areas was because where I was gonna do the shows at would have been in California, Northern California. So I mean, I knew the area pretty well because I used to live there. So, but then COVID came to town and COVID wiped away all that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's important to realize what your goals are, what your dreams are, what your ambitions are. I was watching this thing on 50 Cent, and 50 Cent said, he said, yeah, well, my ambition is always going to remain the same. I'm always going to try to be the best I can be. My goals are just different, and when he came out 20 years ago with Richard Die Trying, and I remember when he had clothing, sneakers, he had vitamin water at one point, and so he was just killing it, bro. And it's like, and now he's doing movies and TV, and so that shows you the progression of what he was able to do with his life. And then it's like, and ironically, man, I would love to sit down with this cat and talk business, man. It's like talk business, talk music, talk whatever his interest is, because it's like, it's like to learn from somebody like that who came from literally nothing, the deck was stacked against him, and now he's probably one of the richest men in America. And I think me and Fifth were alike in the same ways too, because it's like how I approach situations with people. I approach it in a very controlled manner. I don't get out of pocket. I don't get emotional, because I know what I'm doing. And it's almost, I don't want to say manipulation, but if I can control my emotions, I control the situation. I don't get upset over things. I don't dwell over things. I don't, unless they're extremely fucking important, then I find a way to fix them. But other than that, I've never been the type to be like, oh, like, woe is me, yada yada yada. I mean, well, I take that back. Growing up, because of the physical disability, because I was insecure and everything else, I don't want to say I use that as a crutch, but there were times where I did. And the beat that you guys heard in the beginning, that's just something new I've been working on. I've been trying to bang out beats. It used to be once a day. But now that I'm getting better at it, I'm practicing more. I'm just learning the craft more. Next step is mixing and mastering, because that shit just that's a complicated process, but it's a beautiful process, man. To take something that's raw and uncut and tailor it, and to make it cohesive and make it sound beautiful, and then to match your vocals to it too. I mean, so there's so much shit that I'm learning. And music, man, it's just something that's ingrained in me, man. That's never gonna go away. A couple of my good friends is like, every time I make a track, I send it to them, but like, yo, what you think about this? Whether it's the instrumentals or whether it's me on the vocals, and it's like, I need feedback, because even though I think it's good, I want people to tell me the honest opinion. Because one of my partners, one of my day one niggas, he called me. Actually, he sent me his album before he released it, and it was like a 10, 12 track album, right? But I don't know what the fuck it was, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. It was mumbling and shit. I text him back. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? He's like, what you mean? That's my album. I was like, dog, I can barely understand. I can't make out what you're saying. And it's like, what? And I was like, I hate to be mean, but your shit is trash. Because it's like, as an artist, if we can't, make out what you're saying, the music is pointless. And for me, because I've always been about lyricism too. I don't really, like, yeah, the beat's got to be fire, the beat's got to be this, but it's like, you got to have a message with that beat. And it's got to be something that resonates with people too. And if I can't understand what the fuck you saying, then what are we doing, right? And of course, my man's, he didn't get offended. He was okay, cool, appreciate the feedback, because it's like, I'm not about to let my partner put out something that's garbage. You know, I'm not gonna do that. And I think at the end of the day, that's just something that a lot of people are afraid to do. Because I did it in a way that was tactful, but I still told my dude, I'm like, bro, it's like you better than this shit. I don't know what the fuck this is, but no, this ain't it. Um, because at the end of the day, you want the people around you or people in your circle to have the ability to improve and get better every day. You don't want motherfuckers around you telling me, yeah, man, you the shit, you this, boom, 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 boom. And you know, good and goddamn well that shit wasn't fire. Or that shit wasn't your best work. Or you know, or you can take it back to bodybuilding. I'm a big stickler on time. If I gotta be somewhere at a certain time, you know, whether it's a posing practice, gym session, whatever, and I'm 95% of the time I'm training by myself because I don't like training with people because people have a tendency to talk, man. I don't really do that. um, I don't understand how people can say that they want to chase a goal, but yet they miss your cardio, they miss their posing sessions, they miss portion of the weight training sessions. I don't understand that. I don't understand why you would self-sabotage yourself when you say that you want it, but your actions prove differently. Um, Whenever I'm training for a competition, I don't care if I'm 16 weeks out or 6 weeks out or 6 days out. Um, I go into a zone. I tap into a place where nothing else matters. Not my friends, not my family, not my girlfriend or whoever I'm seeing at the time matters or none of that shit. Like, oh, when I say it doesn't matter, I'm not saying that completely it doesn't matter, but if it's not of importance or if it's not an emergency, don't come to me with that. Because when I'm focused on something, um, my attention is 100% on that. My attention is 100% on being the best version I can be for that particular day. And I never take people seriously when they miss shit that they can control. Um, you can control the time you go to bed. You can control the time you get up. You can control when you got to eat your first meal. You can do all that shit, right? So when you sit there and you run late for 20, 30, 45 minutes, I look at that like, yo, like, do you really want this shit or you just saying you want it because it sounds great? And a lot of people don't want to do that, bro. They just want to be like, yeah, 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 whoop de whoop. I'm like, nah, bro. Everybody, the goal sounds great, you know, but when you got to put in the work to get there, when you got to put in the work to reach your goals, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Excuse me. They don't know how to disassociate themselves with certain people or certain things, man. It's like, take it back. I remember one of my best friends who I grew up with when I first started bodybuilding, um, years ago. I remember telling him, cause I was always in the gym. You know, like this is back in the day when I thought 2 days was a shit, right? When I was in high school and college. But then again, I realized as I got older, it's like all 2 days are is basically, did you push hard enough in the first session? Because if you didn't, why the fuck are you here? You know, or like I never been a fan of people working out two body parts in the same day every day. I can understand people breaking up their cardio and their weight training. You know, cardio in the morning, weight training at night, or whatever it is, right? Um, I remember telling one of my partners back in the day uh, that I was training to be the next Arnold. Because that's how obsessed I was with bodybuilding. You know, I was so obsessed with it. Like I saw pumping iron and that shit was it. It was like it didn't matter. Like, yo, this is what the fuck I'm gonna do. Excuse me. And I remember he called me a delusional fool. I asked him why. Like, why is my goals delusional to you? And he couldn't answer that question. And as the years went on, we grew apart because just different goals, different mentality, and everything, right? I went off, got my bachelor's, you know, contemplated going from my master's. I, left jobs, got new jobs, got better jobs, and, you know, started getting career mobility, upward mobility, and he's still in the same spot. Smartest guy ever, just never believed in himself. Sat there, made excuses, and now, damn near 20 years later, you still in the same spot. And I'm not saying he's a bad cat, because he's not. I'm just saying is like your mentality on how you deal with people and how you deal with situations say a lot about you. Because I'll be the first to tell people, because the one question I hate when people ask me, like, yo, well, like, does this look good on me, this and this and that? And it's mostly women who ask me that question, right? And I say, yo, first thing first, do you like it? And they go, yeah. All right, then it don't matter what I think. If you like it, I love it. You know what I mean? And it's because it's like, if you feel comfortable enough to wear that, you should not be asking people. Oh, excuse me. You should not be asking people, how do I look? Obviously, you feel comfortable enough to wear it. So go on and talk your shit non-verbally. I've always been like that, man. I've always been the type to be like, yo, if you like what you like, whatever, I don't care if it's a certain brand of clothing, shoes, sneakers, heels, hoodies, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, if that's what you like, then that's what you like. I'm not gonna hold you to that because my sense of style and everything else is different than yours, and that's fine. And I think at the end of the day, if people just lived in their truth, if people just followed their goals or whatever it is, even as in terms of whatever it is, music, movies, I don't know, photography, because I know some dope, dope photographers and videographers. Man, these motherfuckers are on one, right? And it's just a beautiful thing to see people use their gift and like to flourish in that. That's beautiful to see. And a lot of the times, man, it's all about self-belief and self-preservation and being persistent. It's not about being consistent. I'd rather be persistent than consistent. And when I say that, because consistent means you're only doing it when you have the energy and time. Persistent means when you're going through something that's detrimental or hardship, whatever, and you're still focused on that goal. So I always tell people it's better to be persistent than consistent. Because persistence means that you're going to get there no matter what. All right, y'all, this is about 19 minutes of your life that you won't get back. Hoping y'all keeping it the 4 Ps. Private player, positive pushing. I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all. Ghost. And like I always say, know your worth. Peace.